Hello class, this week's lecture is called What is a Thesis Statement? A thesis statement is necessary for when you write an argument or an academic paper. And in this video we will go over what a thesis statement is, what it's not, and how to write an effective one. Simply put, a thesis statement is a main point of your essay. It is a position, not an opinion. And your argument boiled down to one sentence, two at most. What's the difference between an opinion and a position? An opinion is something like this: I like chocolate cake. A position is something like this: chocolate cake is good for you, or chocolate cake is bad for you. Notice that there's a very difference here in what exactly you're trying to say to the audience and what you're trying to convince them to agree with or do. Also, as the last slide showed, there are at least two sides to an argument. You can either argue that chocolate cake is good for you, or you can argue that it's bad for you. If you don't have at least two sides, you don't have an argument. Here's another example from a topic that comes up frequently in student papers. Students often like to write about whether or not pit bulls should be banned. You can take either position: yes, they are dangerous and attack without provocation, or no, they are not dangerous except when they are mistreated. When you write a thesis statement, look for the idea of should in your position. Something should happen, something should be better, something should be correct. You don't necessarily have to use the word should in your thesis statement, but the idea should be implied. Another important feature of a thesis statement is that it is most effective when it is expressed in third person. Third person means that you use pronouns like he, she, it, and they. Very important, don't refer to yourself in third person. By contrast, first person and second person should not be used when writing a thesis statement. Don't use expressions like I, we, or the pronoun you. Please don't use I believe, I think, I feel, or in my opinion, because those are opinions, those are statements about you, the writer, and not about the topic that you're writing about. So keep in mind that a thesis statement should have three qualities. It should be clear, arguable, and limited. Clear means that the reader shouldn't have to struggle to figure out what your main point is. Arguable, as we just discussed, means that there are at least two sides and you are taking one side. And limited means that you're making a very clear, specific thing that you want the reader to agree with or do. Okay, let's do a little quiz here. Test yourself. On the next slide, you will find three statements. Pick which of the following makes the best thesis statement. Okay, take a few seconds to read each of these sentences to yourself, and then pick which one you think makes the best thesis statement. Did you pick B? Because that's the correct answer. Even if you don't agree with this statement, it is still a thesis statement, and it is clear, it is arguable, and it is limited. The other one, sentence A, was an opinion. Sentence C was a question, and a question is not a thesis statement. The whole point in writing a thesis statement is to take a position that your readers may or may not agree with. Probably they won't, because there's no point in writing to someone who already agrees with you. The goal of your argument is to get your readers to agree with you. I hope you found this video interesting and enlightening, and please reach out to your instructor if you have